Hello everyone and welcome to Daily Prelims Practice, an initiative of Raus IAS where we take up important MCQs based on the articles which are published in the Hindu newspaper Delhi edition and the Indian Express Delhi edition. The topics which have been taken up for today's discussion are listed on your screen, and the time stamping along with the notes in PDF and Word format are given in the description box. So let us begin with the first question for the day. So first we are going to take questions which were published in the Hindu newspaper, and totally there are 4 questions that we are going to take up. The first is that was published as an advertisement on page number 2nd, and it talks about a Khelo India annual event. This year the Khelo India University Games 2022 are going to be held in the state of Uttar Pradesh. And the title or the main lead motto for this game is going to be Garv Se Gaurav. The events are going to be organized at Varanasi, Gorakhpur, Gautam Budh Nagar, that is Noida, and the Lucknow. Now, based on this particular article, we have framed a practice question. With reference to the Khelo India Games, consider the following statement. And surprisingly, this year, that is Prelims 2023, in Set A of GS Paper 1, question number 95 was actually based on the sports and the awards. So the practice question, the first statement says that it includes games and sports where any person between the age of 11 to 25 can participate. Now this is a wrong statement. Why? This Khelo India actually includes all those events and participants who are under the age of 17 at school level and under the age of 21 at university or the college level. So this statement would be incorrect. The second one is participation is allowed only through the routes of educational institution. This statement would be correct because Khelo India actually is organized at a grassroots level of schools and colleges. So a person who is nowhere associated with any educational institution will not be able to participate directly. The third statement is that selected persons are eligible for the 8 years of scholarship. This statement is also correct. Under this program, best 1000 kids will be given an annual scholarship of rupees 5 lakh for 8 years to participate and prepare them for the international events such as Olympics. So based on this entire discussion, the answer to this question would be option B, that is only 2 of the above statements are actually correct. The answer to the UPSC's question was option B, that is here also only 2 of the above statements were correct. This article of the Hindu newspaper was published on page 6 where Chhatrapati Shivaji's anniversary was being celebrated in the state of Maharashtra, and this is 350th coronation anniversary of Maratha warrior king Chhatrapati Shivaji. Now, based on this historical event, we have framed a question where the question says, with reference to the medieval Indian historical figure Chhatrapati Shivaji, consider the following statement. Now, UPSC this year also, that is in Prelims 2023, under the question 48 of Set A, has asked a personality-based question with respect to the Vijayanagar Empire. So, we have framed a question with respect to the Maratha Empire and Chhatrapati Shivaji. The first statement says that he was crowned as Chhatrapati in Raigad, which is located in Maharashtra, and later on make this place as his capital. This statement is absolutely correct. Chhatrapati Shivaji was born in 1630 at Shivneri Fort in Pune. In 1674, he was formally crowned as Chhatrapati or monarch of his realm at Raigad. Later on in the same year, he made Raigad to be his capital and the capital of Maratha kingdom. The second statement says that his council of ministers were called Asht Diggaj. Diggaj means reputed personalities and Asht means 8. This statement is incorrect. The council of ministers of Marathas were known as Asht Pradhan, who were created to advise the ruler in the matter of the state. But king was not bounded by their decision. He could appoint them, he could remove them. And the most important Ashtpradhan were the Peshwas. The third statement says that Peshwa became the de facto ruler during his, and his means Shivaji's reign or rule. This statement is incorrect. It was not Shivaji. It was during under the Bhatt family, the Brahmins, which came after the Chhatrapati Maharaj Shivaji, and later on they became the de facto leader and ruled from Pune. So from this above discussion, it is clear that only statement 1 is correct and the answer is going to be A, that is only 1. The answer to the UPSC's question this year was Dev Rai I, who created a dam on the Tungabhadra river. This article of the Hindu newspaper appeared on the business page, that is page 14. IRDAI eyes insurance push in the rural areas with Bima Vahak. Now we have already covered the same in the DNS dated 30th of May in much detail, where the entire insurance sector, issues, challenges faced by insurance sector, the way forward and the current status of policy for all was discussed. Today we have created a MCQ on the basis of Bima Vahak and what is the actual objective of IRDAI. So the practice question is based on the pattern that was followed by UPSC this year, which is the statement and assertion basis. A similar kind of insurance based on Fasal Bima was asked by the UPSC in 2016 as well. So the practice question says, consider the following statement. Statement first says, Insurance and Regulatory Development Authority of India, that is IRDAI, has envisaged the insurance for all by 2047. Now, based on the current news article, this statement is absolutely correct. So please remember this date. It is 2047 when insurance for all has been envisaged by IRDAI and not any other authority. The second statement is that Bima Vahak will be the crucial last mile connect for the insurers, that is the company which are insuring, in the form of field force comprising corporates as well as the individual Bima Vahaks, and here the primary role would be given to women. Now this statement is also correct. Now when both the statements are correct, answer could be between option A and option B. Now we have to identify the link, whether option 2 is the explanation or meaning of what statement 1 has to say. So based on the discussion, the statement 2 is actually what is meant by statement 1. So insurance for all by 2047 will be met by the help of Bima Vahak, who will act as a mean to achieve the goal. Hence, option A is going to be the correct option. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct and statement 2 is the correct mean or the objective or the tool to achieve statement 1. Hence the answer is option A. The answer to the UPSC's question is option B, that is only 2 is correct. Now we come to the last question from the Hindu newspaper, which is based on the RBI's issue guidelines with respect to the cyber safety for PSO. Now here the keyword is PSO, on which we have framed a question. PSO stands for Payment System Operators. Now who are payment system operators? They are the one which may include a person who operates, maintain, facilitate or sustain a payment system involving the use of credit card or any other similar card, let's say debit one, with respect to a system, and enables the payment to be effected between payer and the beneficiary. So basically the PSOs functions between the demand entity, that is we as a consumer demand the payment system, and the other financial entities such as bank. So PSO, let's say a credit card or National Payment Corporation of India, act as a intermediaries in conducting the transaction between the financial institutions and the end users. So based on the same, we have framed this question. In 2018, a question was asked with respect to the keyword in the financial market, which is merchant discount rate. So this time we have framed a question that says, which of the following entities of the Indian economy would fall in the category of payment system operator? Now, as you know the definition, you can easily eliminate the wrong option. The first is Clearing Corporation of India, which is the correct statement. The second is the National Payment Corporation of India. This is also correct. Cross-border money transfer, that is Western Union money transfer. White label ATM operation, this is also correct. It will also allow the transactions. The trade receivable discounting system, this option is also correct, but the last one is not. Chit fund is not a payment option. and it does not provide the payment between the two entities, that is the financial intermediaries and the end user. So from this particular discussion, we can easily deduce that the option number B is correct. The answer to the UPSC's question is that it is a charge to a merchant by the bank for accepting the payment from his customer through the bank debit card. So the option C is correct. Now we come to the questions which have been taken from the Indian Express newspaper edition 3rd of June. The first article is based on the sedition. Now sedition is in the news for many reasons. Government is trying to bring more reforms in order to make sedition a more tougher law and restrict the unwanted criticism on the government side. Although the Congress or the opposition has called it to be more draconian in its practice. Now, going out of the controversy, we are going to look into the basic provision of how the sedition law in India actually functions. In 2021, a law related or the legal practice related question was asked with respect to the judicial custody as well as the police custody. The question for today is with reference to the concept of sedition in Indian law. Consider the following statement. The first one is it was inserted in the Indian Penal Code by the British Indian government. This is absolutely correct. It was added as section 124 in the Indian Penal Code by the British government when it was in India. So it is basically a British origin law. The second is that it is a non-cognizable crime with punishment up to 1 year. This statement is wrong on two regards. First, it is not a non-cognizable crime. It is a perfectly cognizable crime. And the cognizable here means that a police officer will not require a warrant to arrest a person. So arrest can be conducted without the warrant. The second is that the punishment is not up to 1 year. It can be 3 years or lifetime. The third statement is that it is applicable only against the governments established by law in India. This statement, although is extreme, but it is correct. As per section 124A of the Indian Penal Code, whosoever by words either spoken, written, sign, visible representation or any other means try to bring the hatred or the contempt or excites or attempts to excite disaffection, see the word is disaffection, towards the government established by law in India. So if any person today stands up in order to create a government in exile, or if a resurgent or if any insurgent group in Northeast India try to create a government on their own, will that government be established by law? The answer is wrong. So any government that was established by law in India, they are being recruited on the basis of the electoral or the mandate. Only that government can utilize the section 124A against any incitement. So based on the discussion, the two statements are correct. Hence, the answer to this question is going to be option B. The answer to the question of UPSC's in 2021 was option B, that is 2 only. This article of the Indian Express was published in the explained section and talks about that how come oil reserves could be created in salt caverns. Now salt caverns are the geological features which are available under the topsoil. These salt caverns are the deposits of the salt that can be transformed into brine with a mixture of water. When this brine is created, this brine can be brought out, can be sucked out from that particular area beneath the earth, and that particular area can be filled up with the oil. And that's how strategic oil reserves could be created in India. Now, based on this particular topic that is going to be discussed in the DNS dated 4th of June, that is the DNS that is going to be published today. The question says that consider the following statement regarding the strategic petroleum reserve storage. The first option says that salt caverns based storage can be created and operated almost entirely from the surface. This option is correct. Yes. There is no requirement to add anything inside that particular surface in order to create the storage. Whatever is actually present over the particular area can be utilized to create the storage. India presently has all the facilities in the rock-based caverns. This statement is correct. Currently, these petroleum strategic reserves in India are rock-based. as the salt caverns are relatively more capital intensive. Now, the second part of this statement is incorrect. The reason is that it is not capital intensive. It is actually less capital intensive than the rock one, because here mining of rock is not at all involved. Just the injection of water and bringing out the brine from the storage is what is all required. So based on this particular discussion, the correct answer to this question is going to be the option A. In 2018, UPSC has asked a question based on the natural resources available across India. In this, the answer was option D, that is only 3 is correct. That's all for the daily prelims practice today. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more such updates.